Knees apart, forehead on the mat, child's pose. Fingers spread wide, reaching towards the top of your mat. Relax the head. Let the muscles around the back of your neck melt. And just come into your breath. Deep inhales and exhales through the nose. Becoming present, becoming mindful. Letting go of any thoughts. Coming onto all fours, wrists stack under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Beginning to warm up the spine with some cat-cow stretches. So as you inhale, you want to press the belly towards the mat, shift the eye gaze up towards the sky, and then as you exhale, curl the spine and send the eye gaze to the belly button. So you can do this in your own time, combining breath and movement, beginning to feel that stale energy around your spine melt, and introducing the body to the yoga practice and the vertebrae of the spine to movement. Pressing the mat away from you with your wrists and your knees. Then you can stretch your wrists out by flipping each wrist at a time and gently drawing the hips towards the heels, breathing into the stretch. Try not to bounce too much, just keep the stretch fairly steady, keeping the base of the palm onto the mat. You can try with both hands towards the end, breathing into the stretch and release. Preparing for downward facing dog. Knees are 2 inches behind the hips. Stay light in the wrists. Press into the knuckles of the hands, the index finger and the thumb. And if your shoulders are tight, you can separate your hands, maybe mat width if that's more comfortable for you. And if your backs of your legs are tight, feel free to pedal it out, walk out your downward dog. Draw those shoulder blades down towards your spine, lengthen the neck and the crown of the head. And take a big step to the top of your mat, grab onto opposite elbows and just allow your upper torso to pour over your legs in a ragdoll. Maybe swinging from left to right, releasing the jaw, relaxing the head, letting everything hang heavy. Interlacing the hands at the lower back, reaching the knuckles away from you and rinsing out the shoulders. Breathe. As you inhale, use the hands to pull the body back up. Coming to the top of your mat, bring your feet together, your hands in prayer. Take a moment to close your eyes, set an intention for your class, and create a foundation. Surya Namaskar. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, lead with the chest, fold forward, flat back. Inhale, lift, lengthen halfway, and then step or jump your feet back to plank. Engage the core, press down to a half plank, and then flip the toes. Inhale, upward dog, and exhale, press it back to downward dog. Deep inhale through the nose, and exhale. Another deep inhale, and exhale. Step both feet back up into a forward bend, lift halfway, exhale, fold, and then inhale, swan dive your arms overhead. Reach for the sky, exhale, lead with the chest, swan dive back down. Inhale, lift, lengthen halfway, and exhale, once again, stepping or jumping your feet back into plank. High on the toes, engage the core, press down halfway. Inhale, slide into an upward dog, offering your heart, and exhale, curl on the toes, downward dog. Continuing to breathe through the nose, ujjayi breath, deep breaths, staying soft in the elbows, grounding the knuckles of your hands and lighten the wrists. Step back up into a forward bend, lengthen and lift halfway, and then inhale, swan dive overhead. Flowing once again, lead with the chest, exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift, lengthen halfway, step or jump your feet back to low plank. Inhale, upward dog, and exhale, take it back, downward dog. Breathe. Deep inhale through the nose and exhale, trying to stay light on those wrists. Micro bend in the elbows. Shoulders extend down towards the tailbone. Step the feet back up, lift, lengthen halfway, and then exhale, fold. Swan dive your arms overhead on the inhale, lift the chest, and exhale, lead with the chest, fold forward, second set. Inhale, lift, lengthen halfway, flat back, and exhale, step or jump your feet back to plank. Engage the core, low plank. Inhale, upward dog, roll the shoulders back and down, and exhale, downward dog. deep breaths through the nose, drawing the shoulder blades down to the tailbone, extending out the crown of the head. Step the feet back up to a forward bend, lift, lengthen halfway, fold, and inhale, swan dive the arms overhead, reach for the sky, ground the feet, exhale, lead with the chest, fold forward. Inhale, lift, lengthen, bend the knees if needed, and step or jump your feet back to a low plank. Inhale, upward dog, offering your heart, and exhale, press back, downward dog. Deep inhale through the nose, and exhale. Step the right foot back, preparing for warrior one. Bring the back heel to the mat. Draw the right hip back, the left hip forward, and reach the arms up to the sky. And then release back into a high plank. Press down, low plank. Inhale, upward dog, and exhale, downward dog. Repeating on the left side. Step the left leg up in between the hands, back heel comes flat onto the mat. Draw that left hip back, right hip forward, and extend up to the sky, taking it into a little back bend if that's available to you. Step back, low plank, upward dog, and exhale, curl on the toes, downward dog. Deep inhales through the nose, and then step or jump your feet back to a forward bend. Inhale, lift, lengthen. And then inhale, take it back up to Utsuka Toss, hips low, arms high, chest high, weight in the heels. Fold forward into a forward bend, lift, lengthen halfway, and then step or jump your feet into a low plank. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, take it back, downward dog. Step the right foot up, warrior two, as you inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, take it back to plank, low plank. Inhale, upward dog, and exhale, downward dog. On that same exhale, step the left foot up, arms reach, warrior one. And exhale, step it down, plank. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, up dog, and exhale, down dog. Breathe. Right side, right leg up. Inhale, reach for the sky, warrior one. Exhale, take it to low plank, hold. Inhale, up dog, and exhale, press back, down dog. On that same exhale, step the left leg forward, reach the arms up, warrior one, left side, and then exhale, take it to low plank. On that exhale, inhale, upward dog, and exhale, take it back down to downward dog. Deep inhale, keep the breath through the nose, Ujjayi breath. Step the right foot up, last set. Inhale, reach, chest lifts, warrior one. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, upward dog, and exhale, downward dog. On that same exhale, step the left leg up. Inhale, reach, warrior one, left side. Exhale, step the left foot back, plank, low plank. Inhale, upward dog, and exhale, take it back, downward dog. And then go ahead, bring the toes to touch, and rest down into child's pose. Catching your breaths in child's pose, deep inhales through the nose and out of the nose. And then when you're ready, preparing for downward dog, staying light in the wrists once again, drawing the hips back and up. Step back up into a forward bend and prepare for Utsuka Toss. Sink the hips low and reach the hands high. Weight should be in the heels. Really squeeze the knees together. Avoid any arch in the spine, so scoop the tailbone. Bring the hands to your heart and then pivot towards the right, hooking the left elbow over the right knee. Press the palms together so the thumbs are at your heart and twist the upper torso. The option is always there for you to open the arms. Hold for a couple of breaths and then exhale into a forward bend ragdoll. Separating the feet hip width so you can fit two fists in between your feet. Slide your palms under your feet so your toes massage your wrists and take it into a forward bend. You can have a micro bend in the knees. Let the head and jaw relax, let everything hang heavy, and breathe into the hamstrings. You can shift the weight into the balls of the feet to get a little bit deeper towards the end. Try not to crunch the shoulders into the ears, lengthen the neck. And then exhale after 5 breaths. Toe heel the feet back together, bring the hips down, reach the arms up for second set Utkatasana. Weight is in the heels, squeeze the knees, engage the quads, scooping the tailbone. Bring your hands at your heart and then hook the right elbow over the left knee. Press the palms together so the thumbs are at your heart, twisting the upper torso. If you like, you can open your arms. Keep extending out the crown of the head, hips low, hold for 2 breaths, and then exhale back, forward bend. Separate the feet hip width once again, and this time get a 2-finger grip onto your big toes and fold forward, bending the elbows to the sides. Feel free to keep a micro bend in the knees if your hamstrings are tight, but try to avoid any strain in the lower spine, so the back should be completely flat. Relax the head, the neck, and the jaw, and just breathe into it. Hold for about 5 breaths. Toe the feet back together, and then step the feet back into plank. Engage the core, lower to low plank. Inhale, upward dog, and exhale, downward dog as you flow through your vinyasa. Preparing for side plank, bring the feet together at the back of the mat. Bring the weight into the right hand, and then shift the weight onto the side of the right foot. The option is also there to lift the left leg or bring the left sole of the foot onto the right thigh. Hold for about 5 breaths, keeps the hips high, and then release, flowing through your vinyasa. Flowing straight into the left side, feet together at the back of the mat. Weight shifts onto the left hand and the outside of the left foot. Keep the hips high and reach the right fingers up. Spread the fingers wide, keep them energized. The option is once again there to lift the right leg or bring the right leg into a tree. Hold for 5 breaths and release, flowing once again through your vinyasa. From downward dog, preparing for some back bends, step or jump your feet through your hands and come lying down on your back. Preparing for bridge, bring your feet as close to your hips as you can, scoop the tailbone, and begin to lift each vertebrae of the spine from the lower spine all the way up until your shoulders. Sort of tuck your shoulders under your upper torso and keep lifting the hips, scooping the tailbone, pressing into your heels, really engage those thighs. Hold for 5 breaths and then slowly lower, 1 vertebrae at a time. Bringing the soles of the feet together, knees flop out, Supta Baddha Konasana for 2 breaths. Second set bridge, bring the heels towards your hips once again, scoop the tailbone and slowly peel the body off the mat. Placing the hands underneath you, press into the heels, engage the thighs. Imagine there's a ball in between the knees and you want to squeeze that ball. Keep lifting the hips. Deep breaths through the nose. Hold for 5 breaths and then slowly lower, bringing the soles of the feet together, knees apart for Supta Baddha Konasana. 2 breaths. Now the option here is you can do a 3rd set of bridge or go ahead and do wheel. Fingertips point towards your shoulders, hands are by your ears. As you press up, come onto the top of the head first, and then use your arm strength, lift a little bit higher. You really want to engage your legs, ground those feet, lift the hips, and breathe. Trying to straighten those arms as much as you can. Engaging those quads. Hold for 5 breaths, and then lower slowly with control. 2 breaths with the soles of the feet together, knees apart. Preparing for a spine twist. Draw the knees back together and just windscreen wipe the knees. And then wrap the right knee over the left and drop the knees to the left. As the eye gaze shifts to the right and you reach the right arm out to the right. You might feel some adjustments in the lower spine, some cracks. That's normal. We're just adjusting from all the back strengthening and back bending we've done so far. And then switch sides. Left leg wraps over the right. Knees drop to the right, eye gaze to the left. You might find that scooching your hips to the center of the mat helps you with alignment in this posture. Focus on your spine, sending the breath to the lower spine, all the way to the top. Preparing for Pilates roll up. Knees bent, engage the core, tuck the chin to the chest and slowly curl all the way up on an inhale. Straighten the legs, take a 2-finger grip onto the toes and flow straight into a forward bend. Try and keep the lower back flat, so bend the knees as much as you need. You can also grab onto the soles of the feet with your palms. just begin to gradually fold forward. Bring awareness to if your back is rounding. Try and keep the chest lifted if you can. Exhaling into it, letting your heart rate recover. And then preparing for one-legged pigeon. Send the left leg behind you and bring the right knee towards the right of your mat. Squaring off the hips and the shoulders. Create that solid foundation with the correct alignment, and then lead with the chest and fold forward. This is optional. You can also stay high. You can rest your forehead on the mat. You can rest on a block or on your forearms. Notice if you're clenching your jaw. And just try and let your whole body melt. So any tension you're feeling in the hips, exhale into it, let it go. Just try and stay connected to that steady breath. Preparing for a quad stretch, peel the body off the mat and begin to pivot the upper torso to the left. Bend the left knee and try and grab onto your foot, pulling your heel towards your glute. If you can hook the foot into the elbow. Breathe into the quad as you stretch it on each exhale. 3 breaths and then release, press back, downward dog. Shake it out in any way that feels good. Preparing for the left side, send the left knee behind the left wrist. So the left knee should be on the left of your yoga mat. And the right leg extends directly behind you. Squaring off the hips and the shoulders. When you have the correct alignment, you can either stay high or fold forward, resting your head on a block, on your forearms, or on the mat. The left side might be completely different. It might feel different to the right side. That's normal. Just stay with that breath. Trying to ease the tension, staying mindful and staying present. Trying not to be reactive to whatever the posture might bring up. Trying to let it go and just breathe. Peeling the body up, preparing for the quad stretch. Pivot the body to the right, bend the right knee and try and grab onto the foot. Draw that heel towards the glute. Try and keep the hips square throughout. As you exhale, bring that heel a little closer, stretching the right quad. Hold for 3 breaths and release. Keep the left leg where it is. We're going to flow straight into cow facing. So we want to stack the knees directly on top of one another. It might help to come forward, separate the heels, and then sink the hips in between the heels. This might feel really intense, in which case just bring your hands in prayer and hold. If you'd like to go a little deeper, then bring the right arm overhead and grab onto the left hand around your shoulder blades. If you'd like to go even deeper, begin to fold forward. And breathe, just holding for a couple of breaths. And then slowly come up, release, and switch legs. So the left leg comes over the right. It might help to bring the weight onto the knees. Sit your hips in between the heels. Find that alignment. This side might feel completely different. So just hold wherever you feel is comfortable and you feel your body's adjusting. If you want to get deeper, then go ahead. Left arm over, right arm under. Clasp your hands behind your back. And fold forward if that's there for you. Hold for 2 or 3 breaths. And then come back up and release. Releasing the legs, lowering the upper torso onto the mat, legs straight, toes flop out, palms face up by your side. and relax in Shavasana. Coming back into that breath, bringing the awareness into your belly and noticing as it lifts on the inhales and deflates on the exhales. Just connecting with that steady rhythm, staying present, staying in your body and staying mindful. Relaxing your jaw, creating space between your back teeth, letting the eyeballs fall deep into their sockets.